In 1972, just out of high school, I went to many discos and dance clubs. Mobile DJs like Pete DJ Jones and Johnny Allen, the house DJ for the La Martinique Disco in Manhattan, New York, were great influences to me and my friends. In August of 1974, we decided to start our own mobile disc jockey group. We called ourselves the Together Brothers Unlimited. I would say it was a mutual idea between Tony, Ricky, and I.
Together Brothers, we just looked at each other and said, and what was that movie out? There was a movie out about brothers and stuff. Black movie at the time, a black movie at the time. And we said, how about Together Brothers? Hey, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, we're all brothers. And yeah, all right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It was Fred Williamson on that movie. And we just did the movie. And we just do the movie. We just came up with the name Together Brothers.
Tony's family knew a lot of people, so our first party where we played was in Mark Terrace, a Bronx apartment building where he lived. Back in 1974, Tony lived in Mark Terrace apartment building. His sister had a birthday party, something like that, and asked Tony if we could play the music. The party was in the building's community room. Then that was the beginning of the Together Brothers Unlimited.
We were out in front of Mark Terrace at the time, and they had a little block party going on out there, and I was DJing and stuff like this, and then Kurt came over, and then Ricky came over and said, hey man, let's do something over here like this. So we went down to the community room where the party was, and it was partying on. So we did. It was kind of a mutual agreement between us. Figured, somebody would buy the speakers, somebody get the turntables, somebody else put up the money for a mixer, and then kind of like put it all together and started playing.
We played ball together, whether it was football or baseball, or that little triangle off the corner of Given and Palmer, or Pirates Field, or Secor. We just naturally hung out a number of times and just kind of morphed into it one day.
We also used to hang out different clubs, dance clubs, and sometimes with Joan and her friends, and we'd see different DJs playing, in the area, and we figured, hey, we could do that. So we did. The name is a combination of the movie called Together Brothers and Barry White's group Love Unlimited.
We said, okay, we're gonna need to get some money up, and let's just get this going.
It was an exciting phase for me because being my cousin and family members and close friends that were involved in the DJing, okay, let alone just the group itself, as personal friends that we were, was exciting for me. Thereafter came the brothers, but, just getting up to it was very exciting. I enjoyed every moment of it.
With help of my sister Joan, we bought our first turntables in 1974.
So we went over here and we got some money, and we went down and we was all in your house, your father's house, your mother's house. We went down in the basement. Oh, we got $185. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. $185. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna buy these speakers over here and stuff like this. Then your dad came downstairs and said, no, you're not. We're gonna take half that money, buy the speakers, and you're gonna build the speakers.
My father was into electronics and building speakers. He was a great influence on us and helped build our speakers. Our first major gig was against the house DJ at the Black Watch Room Disco in Manhattan. We were amazed at the sound of his speakers. Then we knew that we had to build better speakers in order to compete.
In those days, they never heard a sound like ours before, only because of my uncle being able to explain to us the polarity of circuitry. So that's why we had so much clarity. And the speakers that we used, they were more or less top-notch speakers. They wasn't just no fly-by-night crap. They were good speakers. You know, we used Altec, Gauss, and Selwyn Vega.
Developing our own little niche, our Together Brothers niche, in what started to be a crowded field. There were many that tried to come in, but they just got blown away by our quality of sound and by the quality of our music. It was a very dynamic time, Brian, in regards to the music scene. And it was just so exciting being part of it. We were making history.
Yeah, those were the good old times.
Who was doing what?
If you're talking about artists, the era of the 70s was very, very discotheque. It was hustle, you know, a lot of instrumentation, a lot of showcasing with artists.
It was what I call the fusion era, where they took the old music like Beethoven and stuff, and they started putting it through electronic sound and stuff like this. It was a very experimental time.
It was definitely before rap or hip hop, you know. It was even before the main disco sound when we started. We were playing more top 20 R&B. 1976 to 1979 were our best years with our best work and popularity. Throughout the 11 years that we played, we battled and played alongside with pioneer DJs Pete DJ Jones and JJ.
Well, we each brought something in terms of like making us the Together Brothers. We had each had our unique characteristics.
We played with hip hop, DJ legends, DJ Hollywood, and Eddie Chiba. Cool DJ Rock with Timmy Hall and the Come Off Crew.
The artists that I was influenced by were the bands Crown Heights Affair, BT Express, Brass Construction, so forth and so on.
We were also friends with the band The Rhythm Makers, later known as GQ. Other band groups we played with are The Moments, Crown Heights Affair.
I really got into the mixing from whether it was Pete DJ Jones and Plummer, who was my personal idol, just because of the smoothness and how he grouped records together. And like if he was writing a song or writing a story with his mixes.
The Tramps, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Joe Bataan, the Rimshot Singers, Chuck Jackson, Sylvia, Candy State, and many others.
Business-wise is a lot of people just didn't want to. Oh, okay, yeah, they try to get you down on the price and everything like that. I mean, you just got to know. But that really didn't concern me too much. I just turned that over to Ricky because you ain't gonna budge with him.
I found my opinion was always welcome. But I would say like my mixing ability and at times just trying to look forward.
You know, once things got rolling and the disco era kind of kicked in, you had to have better equipment, and that costs money. So that's probably the main obstacle. playing in Central Park around 1978, 79, during Puerto Rican Day. But we had a good time. People were roller skating, coming by, dancing, having a good time as we mixed the music. We had a gig, Charles Gallery on 125th Street in Harlem. And as we were playing the music, somebody was shooting inside the club. And we were playing the music so loud, we didn't even hear, bullets flying inside. But by the time we stopped, actually the police came by and shut us down. And they were like plucking bullets out of the front door. It was like a wooden door. And then we stepped out. Finally, we were able to step out. And somebody, had bullet holes in our van that we carried our equipment in. So that was kind of a drag. And said, wow, one of us could have got shot.
Somebody flashed a gun, and that ended that party rather quickly.
They were both exciting, but the park I enjoyed mostly because of the weather conditions as well as the crowd and attraction of people that wanted to hear Together Brothers.
Playing outside, you had to find electricity. So what we would do, if it was like a light pole, we'd actually open up the pole and kind of wire our AC power to the pole, hoping that it wasn't too much power to burn our equipment out.
Park playing was risky. Risky, because you have to keep an eye on the speakers. You got to make sure everything is secure. You got to do all of that.
One of my highlights happened in the Valley Park. I can see there was a number of other DJs there during that Sunday evening, Saturday evening, whatever afternoon we was ever in the park. And it was like they all stared at me and they would look at me, and you get that nod, you get that approval, that look from all like saying, that was it. That was it. The clubs played the bills and it was nice being recognized, and it was a wonderful experience. Met a bunch of ladies too at times. That was a side benefit.
People coming from all over the place, all over New York City to hear us play.
Established the foundation. In regards to the hip hop generation and everything subsequently that followed it. If there was no mobile DJs, I would have serious reservations that hip hop would be where it is today. Hip hop is here because of the mobile DJs.
You have any hearing problems after being in front of those big speakers?
What you say? What? Hearing problem? Of course.
Really?
Yeah. To a degree. But I haven't had a hearing check from the doctor in years.
Hey, right? No, not really. I mean, our motto, and we got it from where we used to buy our equipment. Loud is beautiful if it's clean, but at least I know for me, I can still hear. I'm good.
No hearing problems at all. Matter of fact, my hearing is 3333333.
We really focused on playing the top 20, the music people like, and also the quality of the sound that we have.
Well, it really allowed me to really grow up, learn more about the music industry.
Being more socially involved, I met considerably some of the most interesting people in my life that got me even politically activated and some socially activated. In regards to some volunteer work, helping people, and especially the political aspect, because it was a dynamic time where the music, the organization, was having an effect not just on the city and our little world, but the whole world in general, the country in general.
We had a great mentor. I mean, he kept us off the streets. He kept us busy. I mean, I learned about speakers and things like that. And right now, wouldn't believe it, but people I found a couple of speakers and stuff like that outside over by my dumpster and stuff like this. I looked at them and put them back together, and they work and they sound fantastic.
Before all the scratching and rapping and hip hopping, we were playing way before then. Once rap kind of like kicked in, Ricky he was our MC, so he would try to keep up with the rappers of the day, like a DJ Hollywood or Eddie Chiba or DJ Skarsky or somebody like that. But we didn't really, do all that rapping like it is today.
Hell, Rick. Jack Benny. He can make a penny cry. And he was charging the group's finances, so we had to put it in triplicate before we got anything. But he'd go out there and he tell you, boy, it's hard. I said, we ain't gonna play here. Why? Price ain't right. Why? Ricky said the price ain't right. We ain't budgeting. He ain't budgeting. What I missed about Ricky, well, he could get on there. He didn't do too much of a rap, but he had a little something.
Wow. Ricky. Ricky was an inspiration to me, as well as the group. He was an announcer that inspired me to start announcing with the Together Brothers, because there was two groups. It was Ricky and Curtis and Owen and Howard. Okay, so because Howard mixed records, I announced. And the reason why I say the word announce, because I didn't rap, okay? I spoke, and in the days of that time, we announced. We didn't rap. In today's time, the vocabulary has changed to suit the needs of people that are in the industry.
The voice. The voice. Ricky was my man. Ricky was definitely my man. And his influence, and he was probably my biggest critic at times, in terms of like pushing me, in terms of like what songs I mixed together. He didn't pick. He was like saying, he would either say, hey, that worked out nice, or so-and-so tried it this way. And there were a couple of times Ricky and I visited other clubs. There was a place in Harlem, and which is no longer there. It was on 125th Street one night, and there was this Latin DJ, and I'm listening, and I'm like saying, this guy was smooth. This guy was really, really, really smooth. And I was describing to Ricky, I'm like, did you hear that, Rick? He was like, he mixed that? I was like, yeah, because he studied the song. He was like, well, you keep that up. You keep that up. So he was, Rick was a major influence of me studying the music and studying how to mix it smoother. And what songs, he made suggestions in terms of what songs were more currently popular than the other. I had my popular songs. They weren't everybody else's popular songs, so at times you had to learn how to put your own choices to the side for the sake of entertaining and getting butts on the floor, getting the feet stomped.
Me and Ricky grew up together. See, I must have been 12, and he was probably about 11. So we go way back. It's tough. Our last gig was in December of 1985. Throughout the 11 years that we worked as mobile DJs, in the early years, we were first known as the Together Brothers Unlimited. Then, we were known as the Together Brothers Disco Machine. And finally, we were known as the Together Brothers, power freaks of the Bronx. Whatever we were called, we will always be known as Together Brothers for life.
All right, you can do it. Go.
Are you ready?